Good to know your laptop fan is going all right. Oh, all right. Oh, it's that kind of podcast. Well, all right.
Where you're just dropping stuff?
Yeah, where we can drop stuff and cuss at the same time.
Yeah, you can cuss at the same time, I suppose.
Right. That's fucking awesome.
Should we? Oh, what's up? I'm sorry. I just remembered something. It's the song! Just let it play out. Yeah. Well, I mean, I always add the song after, but I just discovered that our road mixer now has all these cool things. Want to hear applause?
Hey, all right.
Yeah. So I figured we might as well use them so I don't have to actually do it. Yeah.
Well, if it comes with those pretty cool features, then you already know that it's already built in. Why not use it, right?
Damn straight. Haley, how's it going?
It's good. It's so good.
Oh, good.
Well, based on that answer, I'm glad it's going good. I mean, although you could have said that too, it's going terrible. It's going not so well.
I was hoping to derail it by having a horrible silence, but you had to fill it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's cool. This Haley, you are a first-time guest, long-time listener.
Yep.
Have you listened?
Well,
When you've listened, are you comparing it listening, active listening, or just watching what we post on Instagram?
okay, I feel so attacked right now.
I'm just kidding.
It's all right.
Just kidding.
I've listened to some episodes. I struggle with podcasts because I get distracted.
I do too.
Yeah.
And it's often something that I put on when I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know. It's hard to like even remember stuff too. Unless it's like true crime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, true crime comedy or something where it's like, it's easy to kind of remember that kind of stuff. But if I try to learn something like we do on this podcast, I absolutely cannot. Which is a glowing review for what we do, I suppose. Sheldon, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing all right. Right now, it is finals week over at CNM, so everyone's coming in with last-minute math questions, wanting me to teach them everything about algebra, calculus, trigonometry, and also how to finance a house, finance a car, and how to finance your credit card, all in the scope of 2 hours before their final.
Was it because it was like tax season?
Sort of. But those are actually legitimate questions that I do actually get at the at CNM while tutoring math.
That's so weird. And also, I feel attacked right now because the only reason I passed statistics was because you tutored me in it. So, yeah, thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Let's just say I tried taking trigonometry and I learned my lesson in that I didn't learn any lessons.
I don't know. Could you even tell us what trigonometry is? Because I couldn't.
Triangles.
No, is it?
Yeah. It's
trigonometry.
It's a very interesting.
Okay.
It's a very dynamic, interesting of triangles. Your right triangle, your obtuse triangle, your acute triangle.
That is acute. That's an acute way to put it. Triangles. Oh, do we have anything to do with triangles today?
No. Although I don't know, some flakes of it might. Well, no, we might come off a little rusty while doing triangles, but we'll try to stay on point.
That's right, because we don't have degrees in triangles.
No, we do not.
We do have degrees in nonsense. And today, your word is kinda nonsense. And it was hard. It was tough. Your word, not your word, I guess it's our word. Sorry, Haley, is
Okay.
Rusty.
Well, can we get an applause for that?
Oh.
Yeah, we get an applause for that. What? Wait, hold on. Is there a wah wah? Because, hold on. Hailey didn't like Rusty.
Is this another tag? Is this a gotcha moment?
No, it's not a gotcha moment.
No, it's not.
So a gotcha moment would have been our last episode together, which was jingoism.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a weird word to do. Yours is rusty.
Yeah, but I thought y'all were gonna be like, oh, she hasn't done improv in a while. Let's get her.
I don't know if improv, I would consider improv a getter kind of thing.
That would be a tough. Well, that actually would be tough for any improver because you're just suddenly dropping the word rusty without actually providing the scenario.
Yeah,
or the story behind it.
What even is that? Is that like what rusty? In the conventions of English? What is that, like a modifier word? But what is a modifier word? Proverb? No, proverb is like a biblical thing. Because nouns, verbs, adjective.
Yeah.
It's an adjective.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have a master's degree in an English field, everybody. You can't trust me. So would you even ask for that in an improv game? You'd be like, can I get an adjective, everyone? An adjective.
Well, I think you can probably do that if you're hosting the game. Of course, you're the one giving the suggestions, but it's highly unlikely that your audience member is going to come back. Oh, rusty. Can I get an ask for?
You also don't have to take it.
Right.
You can just get another adjective. Rusty's garbage.
Well, I thought you were like, oh, she's rusty.
Oh, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not rusty. You're fine. Are you? When's the last time you improv'd?
It's been years.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Yeah, I just stare out the window waiting.
For someone to ask you to improv?
Give me words.
Hey, pretty bird. Give me a adjective. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard is improvising by yourself.
Yeah, usually
in a room.
Usually actors are waiting by the phone, but not waiting by the window. Oh man, I don't
know why they're not calling. I'm staring out the window waiting for this job. Rusty. So, Sheldon, did you get, I don't know, just a more complex definition than the 3-word garbage I got?
Other than the oxidation of metallic items and, of course, the name of the son on the vacation movies.
Oh, my God, Rusty.
Mm-hmm.
Rusty Oswald, yeah. Lee Harvey, Rusty Lee Harvey Oswald, I believe was his full name.
Right. And of course, for our audience members, I think our audience members are old enough to know the vacation movies, so we're not talking to the current students that go to this university. If I bring that up, they're gonna look at me like, "Who the heck is this person talking?"
Well, I don't know, because I don't know if you remember the Ed Helms vacation movie that came out just a few years ago, which was a continuation and did have Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo in it.
Ah, okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna have to watch that one. I did not see that one myself.
I feel like it was kind of funny.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, but I'd recommend it. But what would I know? When I was a kid, the one that came out was Vegas Vacation.
Oh,
so
right,
I watched that all the time, even though that was constantly panned for being garbage.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie, it is. I actually did see it in the theaters.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Did you ever see any of the vacation movies?
I think I saw 3 of them. Christmas, of course.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The one where they go to Europe.
Oh, yeah.
And something about an amusement park. Or that might...
Oh, yeah, that was the first one.
That was the first
Okay,
one.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, those are the primo classic ones, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, yeah, oxidation. For Rusty, I have adjective of a metal object affected by rust, or something of being like you just said, rusty. So like impaired by lack of recent practice. Rusty skill. So yeah, even though I'm sure you're not rusty.
Okay.
You should have warmed up. Everyone, 16s. Ah!
For those of you who don't know, that's the acting warm up exercise where you kind of move your upper arms and count to 16, and then each limbs of your body until you go from 16 to 12, and then 8.
I think it's 16, 8. Wait.
I
wait.
always did it halves. So
Yeah.
16, 8, 4, 2, and then 1.
1, right?
Yeah. I think it's halvesies on
Yeah.
that one. Yeah. I don't know. And I literally just did them like 2 days ago, and I can't remember.
Yeah, it's interesting because I have a one of my fellow students that we did a show with is from Texas, and they do every time they get to 4, they say pause 1, 2, 3, and then they keep going again.
Pause, like pause.
Pause,
Oh,
yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's different variations, I guess.
Yeah. Pause.
Yeah,
Pause for applause.
yeah.
Or a pregnant pause, or a Pinter pause? Harold Pinter? Sorry. Theater. That's good radio. Talking about theater that only 3 people are gonna get. If Leonard listened,
Yeah.
he would be laughing so hard right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one goes out to Portales, way out there in the middle of Eastern.
Like nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, poor Leonard. Hailey, what have you been up to?
I don't know how to answer that. Like
A lot of blackout stuff.
blackout stuff. Okay. Yeah. So we got some stuff going on. I'm sorry. I've been told I'm too like vague and hard to get to know, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just an open book. And now I'm having some realizations
Yeah.
right here in front of all of you. So blackout. We're doing a couple of shows. We got like the 1-person show stuff coming up in May, and
Oh yeah, the monologuist. Yeah, I'm part of that.
Right.
yeah.
Do your monologue right now. We have 43 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you won't get it without the visuals.
Oh yeah, is there visual? Oh cool.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I went into Microsoft Paint and I made some memes.
Oh, that's
Whatever.
awesome.
Hey,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh yeah, like your classic Minion coffee.
Yeah, those classic Minion coffee memes.
Oh yeah, I wish I was joking. I'm
Wait.
not.
I've seen some with Minions, but coffee. I don't know if I've seen like a coffee.
Oh yeah, moms love that stuff. Minions and coffee.
Coffee memes.
And then I guess at 5:00 they switched to Minions and wine. I don't know. I'm not. I'm not a mother, so I don't want to speak.
Okay,
for them.
well,
Well, there's a minion holding some coffee, and it says, "Coffee? Oh, you mean my survival juice?"
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
these just like, so are yours just equally kind of cringy, like purposefully?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
It's bad, but it's good. It's good bad. That's the intention, the artistic statement behind it.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, mine's about child abuse and supernatural entities. So yours sounds a bit more fun.
we're just keeping up the trauma here. All right, we're talking about Minions and family trauma, and
Yeah.
so
Some overlap.
yeah.
Some overlap.
no one had priest on theirs, did they? So just the trifecta of abuse
Minion
going all the
priest.
way around.
No, but to be fair,
Minion
when
priest.
no, to be fair, I'm about to record an episode with Lex, I believe, that is Eucharist is the word, and there definitely is a weird priest story I got to bring up. Yeah, but to be fair, it was myself accidentally being the sensual one. Yeah, so listen up to that, everybody. Rusty. Now, do you want to go first, or should I go first, Sheldon?
Yeah. I don't mind going first.
All right.
All right. Well, when talking about rusty, we have three different types of. One is the oxidation of metal. One is the oxidation of your talent, which hasn't been used in a while. So you might come off as a little bit of rusty. But the good thing about rust is that you can always buff it out and shine it out. Talent-wise, of course, I'm talking about it specifically. So, everyone gets a little bit of rust on them. So, but it doesn't always have to stay on them. So, you should always keep a little bit of fine grit of sandpaper towards you so you can sand off your rough edges or your rusty edges for that matter. And the sandpaper can be metaphorically or physically.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you're talking about show business and you got a little bit of rust on you and you really need to shine, Coke is a great way to do that. Coke gets the rust off.
Oh, right. Yeah, although you have to be careful with your Coke because now sometimes it does have a little bit of fentanyl in it.
Whoa, I'm talking about Coca-Cola.
Oh, that
what
Coca-Cola.
What are you talking about? Yeah, putting something in Coca-Cola will get the rust off. Yeah.
True.
Have you tried that before?
I bathe in it.
You bathe in Coke to get the rust off?
But Diet Coke, because regular Coke hurts my stomach.
Oh, yeah. Mine too. Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah. Well, I haven't drank a regular Coke in a long time, so.
Oh, are you just a Diet Coke person or are you just no soda?
No. Actually, I haven't drank soda in quite a while, so. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So mainly it's just the carbonated water. It took a while to get used to the taste because it literally has no taste, but then pretty soon I started drinking that like water.
Well, that's really good because that's the way to go. Because what I was reading about Coke, because I was like, I quit smoking in like a day cold turkey. Like that was not a problem. And I was smoking a pack a day. And trying to give up Coke or just any soda.
And sometimes cigarettes have fentanyl in it too.
Don't say that. That's so sad. But trying to give up soda is still excruciating. I still drink it and I have to give it up because my health is kind of all over the place. But I have to give it up. But it's so addictive, and I don't know why. But I looked it up, and I guess I do know why. It's a combination of the sugar and the carbonation. So it's really smart to go to carbonated water because the carbonation also sets off those happy feelings in your head.
Ah.
And it's also the thing that gets off the rust.
A little bit of a placebo effect.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
A healthy placebo, I should say.
Yeah, healthy. Well, is there a bad placebo? Like, can you trick your brain into hurting your body by taking?
I've been wondering something very similar, and no one's been able to give me an answer. But in psychology, you know how they do like aversion therapy? I've been wondering if like the opposite ever happened. Because like the example my teacher gave in class was like, we tried to get this woman to stop eating Snickers bars, so we associated it with roaches.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
But I wonder if it like ever like reversed and she see a cockroach and think, man, a Snickers sounds so good right now. But I don't know. I tried Googling it and I never got what I was searching for.
Well, that's interesting, but it's also kind of like a messed up study to actually perform.
Googling Snickers and roaches. I'm pretty sure the search results were very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had my hand over my eyes.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Be sure to use the VPN when you're searching for that stuff.
Oh, yeah. So they don't get you.
Or the algorithm doesn't suddenly, you're watching a nice video. Do you have roaches in your house? Do you have? It's like, wait, come on. I just clicked on the video once. Suddenly your algorithm is entirely messed up and you're trying desperately to type in other stuff in your search engine just to throw off the algorithm.
Yeah. Pete Townsend. If anyone knows that story, I don't know. Pete Townsend from The Who, someone seized his computer because it had a few instances of child pornography on it. He said, I'm writing a book about something similar. Anyway, the dude didn't go to jail or anything, but I don't know who's ever heard of The Who in the past 20 years too. So, yeah, maybe there's some retribution there. Sorry. Weird way to derail that. Do you have a question for us?
Yes. Right now, I completely drew a blank right now. It's gonna come back to me. I mean, we got 40 minutes, so I'm gonna.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about oxidation. So you brought it up.
Right.
Oxidation is just introducing oxygen in order to create some sort of chemical reaction. And we're talking about rust. It's iron and then oxygen, sometimes water, mixing up to come with iron oxide. Is that it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what rust is. So I got curious about other forms of oxidation. Oh my God. There's a rabbit hole for you if you're a chemical nerd. Because oxidation isn't just like, oh, let's create rust. It's literally thousands upon thousands of things, but usually in like a chemical format. And they're like, oh, C plus, OH positive plus, blah, 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 blah. It's hard to just find anything other than those two examples, rust and then apples, which was a huge one. You cut open an apple and then the oxygen gets to it. Of course, that's also a good one about like ancient documents with paper. If something's sealed up into like a bottle for hundreds or thousands of years, sometimes the oxygen can just like shock it into just vanishing because it will just like sort of disintegrate. And that's actually happened before in the past where something just has been so airtight that when that oxygen hits them for like archaeologists, it just starts immediately disintegrating. Weird stuff. But I wanted to talk about a process that was way longer, over millions and millions of years. And that was, why is Mars red? Yeah. So I got this from a completely scientific looking site called Love the Night Sky. It's talking about, why is Mars red? Of course, oxidation. The iron that is abundant in Mars's surface material rusts and oxidizes as it is exposed to oxygen in the atmosphere. The resulting iron oxide gives rise to the planet's reddish color, which is why it appears red when it's seen from Earth. And when we get our photos back from the Curiosity lander or all of those other landers. Yeah, and then also from the light that Mars receives from the sun, it bounces off the surface just like it does for the Earth, goes through the atmosphere, and we see the red tint. But because Mars, way back in the day, actually had liquid water on the surface. Now, not a whole lot of, not like oceans, but I believe it was a very shallow amount of water covering most of the planet. So if it was like up to your knees, but it covers most of the planet, I don't know if that's called an ocean. Is it? Well, kind of.
I guess it could be, let's see, they sometimes have New Mexico used to be flooded with a narrow, shallow ocean, if I'm...
Yeah, and they do call it a shallow ocean.
Yeah, from the last time I was at the museum, I think they called it a shallow ocean. So
yeah, and if it's like, I don't know, deep enough to have troglodytes and whatever in it, so I guess you can call that an ocean. Troglodytes? Those little shell things that they find everywhere.
Oh, right.
I think that's right. Why is no one a paleontologist on this podcast? To help me out.
Well, Hailey, didn't you get your degree in paleontology?
It was just an associate's.
Oh, well, that's something.
I'm just picturing like people, but the only difference is that their feet are like mermaid tails, but they have two of them, and they're just like walking around in this puddle ocean.
So they're people, but they have evolved the lower half of their body to be in the water.
Yeah, like not even up to the knee, It's just like fish fins slapping around.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah,
I like that. So what happened was there was, for I think a brief period, it's like a few hundred millions of years, if I recall correctly, but that water vaporized and actually left the atmosphere just because Mars is I don't know if it was like their spin or their core or whatever couldn't maintain a thick atmosphere to actually hold that water in. I hope so. If any, Mars experts are out there, please feel free to write in and clarify. But I think that's
Leonard,
what happened.
Leonard, we're talking to you.
Is he a Mars expert?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh, that's so crazy. But basically what happened is the water left the atmosphere, but while it was still vapor, it still had that chance to oxidize the surface.
Oh, okay.
So that's why all of Mars is just red rather than, well, I don't know. We haven't dug like, a mile down or anything like that.
Right. And the Mars rover has a little tiny shovel on it, but that shovel is, I think, it has about maybe the strength of your standard arcade machine with the claw that kind of comes down to try and scoop things up. So
It's so frustrating.
It's trying its best.
You just have a bunch of people at NASA and they're just like, oh shit, who dropped it? Oh.
Yeah, that's why it's taken so long to get information.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. And do we have Mars rocks? I don't know. Anyone ever return from Mars with rocks?
yes. Amazingly, an asteroid hit Mars and bounced some of those rocks into space, and they remained in space until they got caught by Earth's orbit and landed in, of all places, Antarctica.
Oh, that's cool. Really?
And some scientists found those rocks and noticed that some of it looked like it had fossils from little tiny microbes that were swimming around when Mars was covered in water.
I do remember something like this.
The chocolates?
Yeah, the chocolates. Oh my god. If you came across like a creepy little mud crab, but it was made entirely of chocolate, but it was sentient, it was still a creature, but it was made of chocolate. Would you eat this? Keep in mind, it looks like a troglodyte, like a creepy shelled bug.
Does it have the strength of a mud crab?
Are mud crabs really strong?
I watched a video and it sure does look like it.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm a little scared.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess in that case, it's a eat or eat situation, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, because it could eat you if you don't eat it.
Well, it'll pinch you. Once it's got you, it's over.
Oh God.
It's slowly going to consume your body. I don't know if that part's true, but they are strong.
Let's just say it's true. So my question for
death and consumed by chocolate. Oh, that's
that's what you meant, death by chocolate. My question is, for $10 million, would you take a job being one of the first people to live on Mars? Hailey? $10 million.
How long are we living there?
Unfortunately, according to Elon Musk, was famously quoted as saying, if you're going to Mars, it's pretty much a one-way ticket. But your family could get $10 million.
I need a time to think.
Sure. Sheldon, what do you think?
wow. $10 million to go to Mars, knowing that you can't spend any of that money. I don't know. Might get satisfaction just by looking at my bank account. Although there is a 2-hour lag time because signals from Earth and Mars, I think they take about maybe 2 hours on the good day, and maybe even take a whole day to get a message back. But I guess so. I don't know. Do we have any TikTok sounds or anything?
Let's see. We have trombone, rim shot, chimes, crickets, air horn, and music bed.
Oh, okay.
You want a trombone?
Yeah.
Oh, we had one.
Oh,
we did have one.
Dang.
Oh, damn it.
Okay. That would probably be the sound that would make when I say yes. I would go for 10 million, knowing I couldn't spend it at all. It's like having a bunch of tokens from the video arcade, and the video arcade closes down, and You're left
Oh,
with a bunch of tokens that.
the ones that like have the imprint of like the name of it, and you can only use it there.
Right.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Haley?
Well, I've been thinking. Am I being sent there to do a job?
Nah, I mean they just want to see what happens.
Okay. I do like the idea of not like having to worry about like bureaucratic stuff, you know?
Sure.
Like car insurance. But I don't know. I what if my thoughts consume me? You know, I'm just sitting up there.
Oh, I mean, you probably aren't alone. I would say you're going with an expedition party of like 20 people.
Okay. Do I get to pick those people? Sorry.
Yeah, and they
okay.
have to go.
And they have to go?
You pick them and they
God.
have to go.
Oh, God.
So you're sentencing 19 people to maybe death?
Is Elon Musk administering the money?
I'll sweeten the pot. If you go to Mars, Elon Musk gets launched into the sun.
Ooh.
Well, that sounds like quite a deal.
Yeah.
So it's like for the benefit of mankind, will you go to Mars?
Yeah. And does Twitter go back to being Twitter?
It's always kind of been Twitter, but
Yeah, but I
it
want it
loses the X.
official.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this nonsense. The X, formerly known as Twitter. It's Twitter. It's always been Twitter. And it's always going to be Twitter.
Yes.
Relax.
Yes.
So is that a yes? If we say Twitter goes back to Twitter.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, cool.
Hey, all right.
Wow.
Hey.
Haley, savior of mankind.
All right. Well, that response
You're
does not
welcome.
deserve the trombone. That deserves the applause button right there.
Oh, here we go. Hey.
That one guy is really making his money on this on that applause recording.
Yeah, honestly. A Mr. Road.
Yeah. Or yeah. Too bad you don't have the Wilhelm scream on there. So that
Oh
would be
my
pretty
God,
good.
I don't, but I do have a rim shot. So if anyone has a good joke, I can do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a little bit rusty.
Hey, all right.
Oh boy. Thank you for that. Sheldon, you got another one?
Yeah.
What was that? Okay.
A rusty chair.
I guess so. Oh, I didn't turn the AC off. Sorry, everyone listening, if there's AC in the background.
Know that we're cool because this summer is supposed to be intensely hot.
Oh, thanks for that. Thank you.
So listen to this podcast and
is
just
that a-
remember that there was air conditioning on while this podcast was going.
That should be a Minion meme where it's just a Minion holding coffee. It's like, oh, I wish my coffee was as hot as it is outside.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Yeah, okay.
I'm getting pretty good at Microsoft Paint.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good. I like how you're using paint to do
Well,
this.
My computer situation, I have multiples, but they're kind of old.
Sure.
Mm.
So I'm scared to like download too much.
Yeah, I get you.
And I like the classics. So
Yeah, paint works.
Yeah, it does. It well, before Paint, there was Microsoft Movie Maker, which maybe you can still see some old like YouTube videos that still have from way back in the day that were using Microsoft Movie Maker.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
making movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, not cleaned off that rust and get moving forward.
There you go. Yeah. What do you got?
Yes. Oh, my question. All right. Let's say that would you take a job deep sea diving off an oil rig to clean up the rust?
Is there rust on the bottom of the ocean?
Well,
Or,
you-
no, of an oil rig?
Well, not rust, but barnacles and
Oh yeah, barnacles and stuff. Yeah, and you know rust, I guess, because every time you see the underside of a boat, there is rust.
right.
Haley, what do you think?
I'm feeling no. I'm scared. In summation, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Because you got water pressure. That's scary. If something goes wrong and the water just crushes you. I'm small. It wouldn't take a lot. I don't want a lot of people to know. And I was like, I shouldn't say this.
So you look at some guy who's like a bodybuilder, and you're like, Arnold Schwarzenegger could take a lot of water pressure before it crushes him.
Well, maybe. I wouldn't mind testing it, but I don't know if he's down. So this is an open invitation to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Please reach out to us at the email I think they have.
Yeah. What is our email?
Yeah.
ClasslessChapsABQComedy@gmail. That's so okay.
If you can remember
Instagrammer.
that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reach out to us on Instagram.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah. So
Fascinating.
Yeah. So it was it could be a bodybuilder that could withstand the pressure.
Well, but I'm also worried about the creatures because there's the ones we know about and they're scary enough, but there's also the ones we don't know about. That's
God.
terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would normally say sure. But every time that we see something, it's like, oh, we went to the bottom of this ocean in Antarctica and discovered 1,000 new sea creatures. It's usually like 900 types of jellyfish and then 100 unimpressive sea slugs.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
doing their best. Jeez.
The scientists or the animals?
Both.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm the jerk.
Yeah.
So that's a no.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on this one.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, what about you, Steven?
No. Oh, hell no.
Oh no. Okay.
I don't know if you saw the movie Underwater, but
You gotta be more specific. There's a lot of movies of underwater.
no, I mean it's called Underwater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
with Kristen Stewart, and she goes underwater,
okay.
and it was a good movie, and the ending was really cool, and it had like crazy sea creature, like weird little demon fish, Cthulhu things. But there's a moment where they're all in their suits trying to go outside, and one of the guys notices a crack in his helmet, and it was like, okay, we can't leave because our structure is failing. We're in this little elevator. We have to go outside. And he knows with 1,000% certainty that in any second, this thing is going to implode him. And it absolutely does. And he just implodes and everything goes everywhere. It's horrible. And I'm like, that's my worst fucking fear in the world. That thing. Those Ocean Gate guys had the same deal.
Should have took a bodybuilder with him.
Yeah, they should have. They should have. But I think they knew like they were, it was the same deal.
Right.
It was gonna happen. And they say like, yeah, you can know, but once it happens, you don't suffer at all because it happens in microseconds.
Right.
But you still had those 5 minutes of like, fuck, I am dead. There's no way around this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a long and terrifying way of saying no.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah.
You?
Well, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about the people who went to go see the Titanic. What was that name of that Ocean Gate or?
No, wait. Was it called Ocean Gate or was it the Ocean Gate like a scandal, like a gate? It might have just been Ocean Gate.
Yeah. I would probably have to say no as well, and that's not because of the people who were on the Titanic. Let's see if I remember correctly. There was this one. I think it was called the Bellevue incident. I believe that was where these Norwegian divers went down to do their stuff, and then when they come back up, they were supposed to go into this pressure chamber. Well, they went to the pressure chamber, but Some person just simply forgot to close the hatch or negligent, and it opened, and they literally exploded from
Holy God. Why are we talking about any of this?
So, you may take all the precautions, but it just takes, someone, ooh, let me unplug this to charge my cell phone.
Whoa. Okay. So anyway, moving on. Can I do my second one?
Yeah.
Okay. AI robots.
Oh.
Yeah. This one's not so bad. It's just robots, and I wondered if robots rusted. And not really. I mean, the things that they would be made out of if we were to make like sentient AI robots, I mean, they're all pretty, they can withstand stuff. They wouldn't just be like made of tin, like the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz. But I got into this rabbit hole of just AI robots in general, and if they could eventually one day feel emotions. Super weird. But right now, of course, no. They can't feel emotions. Essentially, they can detect emotions. So I went to this company that creates AI software called Morphcast, which was really interesting. But the way that they detect emotions are just by looking at facial features, micro expressions, voice intonation, things like that. But it's still like an approximation of, the millions of things that it has searched. So you could still technically fool it, right?
Right.
You could still lie to it, and it would just think that, oh wait, the mouth twitched at that moment, so it must be, feeling depressed or something like that. I don't know how it works, but we have to be able to feel emotions to be able to detect emotions as humans. So it's very interesting to think, like, could we ever get to that point? In AI, no, right? I don't think that little Haley Joel Osment was ever able to actually feel emotion, right? And then I was thinking, like, iRobot, yes, kind of. That one robot. Anyone ever see iRobot with Will Smith?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so there was that one robot who was built with like special processor or something that was able to like be more human. Very interesting. But I don't know. Computers are just machine learning things full of information. Can they learn emotion?
I think so. If Ex Machina has taught us anything, it's that beware of the incels who have a lot of AI robots in their mansion that no one's allowed to go into.
Yeah, that's creepy. They just did a honest trailer with that one. And I also had a student recently who watched Ex Machina and was like, what is this creepy garbage? Like, and it really is. It really is. I don't know if you've ever seen Ex Machina, Haley.
I have not.
Sure. It's just some billionaire that builds
Sex bots.
Yeah, essentially. Played by Oscar Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
And Tomb Raider. I can't remember her name right now.
Alicia
Vikander?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. So,
well, it does raise an interesting question that the AI, basically the only way to get that is to, gather a whole bunch of data. And they did raise an interesting question, and apparently it's not very far off, is that, cell phone companies and cell phones in general, every time you turn on your cell phone, the camera does actually record your facial features and does create a huge database of that. And so, with all that information, it can be used to maybe placate emotion. But there's also this other thing, and that is interesting because when they were creating the AI, or at least the chat GPTs and all this stuff, is that they were scouring the internet for all kinds of literary data And, they kind of have this thing of move fast and break stuff. So they started taking a whole bunch of copyrighted data as well. But the problem now is that they're running out of data. It's like, you always made the joke of, I've watched everything on the internet. Well, these companies have literally watched almost everything on the internet. And so now they're running out of data.
Oh, well, we have a couple of videos that have 0 views on YouTube, so let's just
Give them to the robots.
they'll still do like the one racist comment on there.
Oh no.
That's YouTube.
Yeah.
So I guess basically AI is limited by how much data it can collect. And so I guess based on that information, your robot can only mimic what it sees, but could it determine completely on its own? Or is it just doing what basically it sees, it mimics, and then just, waits for the next command?
Interesting.
I heard a wild take from my coworker, not me. I do not condone this as kind of a playwright. He said, because it was right around the WGA strike, and they were trying to figure out everything with AI. And he's like, oh, well, AI just takes other materials and turns it into something else. Isn't that what writers do? And I was like,
Ouch.
Yeah. And he's like, why don't we hang out more? I'm like,
Because of this, Kyle.
yeah. But I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. Wow. That's a weird philosophical kind of question of, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it true?
Is
What
it
do you
true?
think?
I don't think so, because I think, because you could take two different people. For instance, we both have different feelings about the play, The Glass Menagerie. And if we were both expected to write something inspired by that, it would come out very differently. So I feel like that's kind of a bad take. And I don't know, maybe if we had the same exact experiences, but that's kind of the point, is that we don't.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
And what is the Glass Menagerie about?
So it's a play about this mother, son, and daughter. I believe written by Tennessee Williams. Mm-hmm. And the mother is like, she used to be like a Southern debutante. And she got married to this man and had kids with him. I believe he abandoned them, or maybe he passed away. I can't quite remember. And then the son's kind of expected to take care of everybody, but he also spends a lot of time going to the movies and smoking cigarettes. And then the daughter is supposed to go to school where she can learn to be a secretary or something, but struggles a lot in school. So she has been lying about going to class, and she's been collecting these little glass figures. So the mom's like, okay, well, then we got to get you a husband. So then Tom, the son, one of his former classmates, comes over. And apparently he was really nice to, I don't remember the daughter's name. I just remember that he calls her Blue Roses, because it's like blue roses. And she's like, oh, this is it. I'm in love. And he's like, ooh, I'm engaged. And it's really sad. And that's sort of an oversimplification, of course. But yeah.
Well, now I got to get Kyle's take. Let's call him up and see if you would write the same thing. Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although there have been a couple plays where I, start to write it, I'm like, this is Die Hard, isn't it? Something like that. You have to course correct.
Yeah.
Well, to go to my question about AI robots and emotions and all that stuff, do you ever think you could fall in love with a robot? Not now, not like a Roomba, but like let's give it 50 years and see where the robots are. Let's say that they maybe could feel emotion. Could you guys fall in love with a robot?
Well, let's see. Well, usually, that's an interesting question because there's many different interpretations now, and then of course specifically mentioning bots on the internet. Unfortunately, a lot of people do fall privy to these bots.
Oh, like sex bots for the
sex bots, yeah. Or word verbatim for sex bots, and the next thing you know, you're giving them your bank information and stuff like that. So I don't know, is this sentient robot actually operating under its own accord, or is it operating under the commands of someone to just get your bank information or to get you in a compromising position to where they can blackmail you?
Wait, so the sentient robot would have like an operator, just some weird dumpy guy in a basement who's pretending to be? Huh, interesting. But then it wouldn't be a sentient robot. Well, unless it was like hijacked.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to worry about that. So you take your chances. A guy,
just like the internet right now, you take your chances.
Yeah. Would you feel bad if the sex bot who was catfishing you the whole time actually did use that money to go to college? Sorry, that's a whole other question. That's a whole other question. Would you fall in love with a robot?
Well, can I address the whole other question?
Sure.
Can I just like download like the textbook or something? Like,
yeah.
Does it have to like go to college and like, I don't know, party? Does it party?
It probably parties a little bit. But it's not a partier.
Okay. So like, it's not like joining a frat. I feel worse if it joined a frat.
It pledged, but it didn't join in the end. It saw the culture and was like, it is not for me.
Oh.
Robot
Well, that's interesting.
I will make you fall in love with this chatbot.
So why wasn't it for him? Like,
well, because it's not because it was like the spanking or anything like that, it wasn't like, oh, I saw that and oh, that just looked gay or something. He's not one of those chatbots.
Okay.
It was literally like, if the chatbot graduated and you were like, what did you learn from college? The chatbot would say, I learned how to work on myself.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting addition. I think I would feel, if we're still addressing the money question, I'd feel less bad. But what did it major in?
Here's the weird bit. It majored in philosophy. Could go either way with that one.
Yeah.
Are you sure this sentient robot is on the verge of just becoming an incel?
Well, that's the tricky part, right? You have to really figure it out.
Right.
I don't know. It's okay. First instinct.
Okay, could I feel like I have hang-ups about knowing it's a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if it was like AI, like the movie, where it's still like a weird fleshy robot that you might not be able to tell was different from a human, but you did know it was a robot? Sorry, I'm guessing people are dancing upstairs?
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
Weird.
Well, that brings up an interesting question because, the robot might personify to look like a human, or to the point that it talks like just a normal person. But as with anything, like even with the chat bots today, you chat with it long enough, and then pretty soon you begin to pick up, okay, wait a minute, something's off. This is you're not a real person,
Yeah.
Like when it makes you wonder, hey, did my friends just make another account? And they start contacting you, and pretty soon, before you know it, you're asking them, hey, do you remember what happened? Blank, blah 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 blah. They say, no. Well, you tell me. It's like, okay, you.
Oh, when like someone makes like a duplicate account with all
Right.
your friends' pictures and is actually not your friend.
Right.
Well, that's a bit off topic. We don't have to have you answer now because it's a matter of the heart, and it's difficult.
Yeah, I feel like I would say no, but
Okay.
is that the easy answer? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could revise the question and not have to fall in love with them. But I might date a robot if they could feel emotion and were indistinguishable from a person, but you just knew they were a robot. I don't know. But fall in love with a robot. I feel like 20 years from now, our children
Well, I'm pretty sure
are
there
going
are
to be
people-
listening to this. Those bigoted pieces of garbage. Oh my
Oh
God.
my god.
Yeah, I will definitely be stuck in my ways, because I can say, yeah, there are people right now who are in love with robots or chat bots who think they are real people.
Oh, there are people who fall in love and sometimes marry like virtual reality characters, usually like anime girls and stuff like that,
Ah, yes.
which is fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like having something that you can like actually physically touch or something, like marrying a simulation of something, is a little bit more difficult. And I was talking to Angie about this yesterday. I was like, you remember that 30 Rock episode where James Franco married a Japanese love pillow? Anyone ever see that one? I feel like that's more, yeah, sure, marry a love pillow rather than like a collection of ones and zeros that you could never physically touch. That's a little weird to me.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting distinction.
And I'm sorry for my bigotry, everybody.
There was that movie with God, who was the actor who played Ken in the Barbie movie?
Oh, Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, Ryan Gosling, where he in one of his independent movies, he ends up falling in love with a sex doll.
I never saw it, but I want to say it's called some like Lars and the Real Girl or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it either.
It was actually a pretty good movie. It actually had a heart to it.
Yeah. But is that more acceptable to, not acceptable, sorry, I don't mean to be like, oh, that's not acceptable, but to me, is that more, I don't know, can you connect more with that than, say, Her, where Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with just the voice of the AI? I wanted to say Sylvester Stallone. Scarlett Johansson is the voice. Hey, you want to love me? Tell me about your day, Joaquin. Anyway, Sheldon, we're running out of time. Do you have a
Okay.
third one?
Yes. As actors, do you feel it's good to work on your craft and not stay rusty in your particular era of entertainment?
That's interesting. Huh. What are our particular areas of entertainment, though? Because I would say no. But I mostly deal with improv. Hold on. There would be two different things for that, right? Because I think improv, no. But I think sketch and writing and all that stuff, yes.
Right.
Improv, no, because the way I teach improv is like you have to know yourself. And the way that you know yourself is how you're going to get the best answers that when you actually do improvise. So I would say no, don't really worry about focusing on that. Just focus on knowing yourself. But Hailey, what would you think?
That's interesting. I feel like with improv, like part of it's a social skill, and being someone who may or may not have social anxiety. I said that one time, and this guy was like, "Well, did a doctor diagnose you?" I'm like,
With
"Sir?"
social anxiety?
Yeah. Ooh, if I didn't have social anxiety, I would have given him some what for. So I do think like a certain element of I think a little bit of practice is good. I however have maybe a controversial take.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do think some people over philosophize about comedy sometimes, and I sort of enjoy like an organic nature to it, you know. So I do think you can like veer off into like a too structured territory, I guess. But yeah, I think practice is good, and I think even like the practice of just creativity is good. I think a lot of writers are just like constantly, well, I don't know, I just know myself, but like trying to think of like what they can do with the stories they have going on, or like what certain things could inspire. So I don't know if that answers your question. But,
No. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's interesting. Sheldon, what do you think?
Well, I definitely think it helps, you know. In the beginning, for the plays that I've done, you know, I've always kind of prided myself on, you know, I don't really need to do a whole bunch of warm-up rehearsals or anything like that. I can just go straight in like that. And then, you know, you do it long enough, you get complacent and you start to then comes the moment of reality when you slip up on stage and it's like, oh crap. And it's like, okay, you know, let's go back to the basics and just kind of rehearse a couple of scenes with your partners and stuff like that. And you're just like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm not that unique or special. You know, you still need to practice. You still need to practice everything that Susan or Joanne taught you.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Acting classes are always so humbling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have time to go over my last thing, and also it's pretty sad anyway. But I'll just go to the question. Hannah Gutierrez Reed was sentenced to 18 months for shooting Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust.
Oh, yes.
If you all remember that. So sentenced to 18 months for involuntary manslaughter. Do you agree with that verdict?
Yeah, I agree with the verdict. You know, you are the prop master, so you know, I mean, there shouldn't have been any live ammo on set at all.
Yeah.
You know, you know, when you're you're the actor, you know, when someone says cold gun, you know, you take them at their word, like, hey, you know, the ammo in this gun is all blanks, or there's no ammo in there at all, which I think is what the cold gun means anyways. So, you know, the ultimate responsibility was with the weapons handler. I guess that's what her title was, right? Or prop master, or
Yeah, it was split
Yeah.
because Baldwin was cutting corners apparently.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it unfortunate and sad because when that happened, I was actually working on a TV set series, and the entire, I guess I had no idea, but movie crews, I guess, are a close-knit family here in New Mexico. And so that death hit them pretty hard. and so that was surprising to hear about and to just experience that.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I mean,
Keep in mind, also 18 months was the maximum sentence.
it's just, yeah, I think I agree. I mean, there's certain safety protocols that are supposed to be in place, and it's just such an unnecessary death. Like, I don't know. I think I agree.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, it's horrible. And I have to tell my classes that we use it as an example every single semester of just, the importance of safety and all that stuff. So it's tragic that, that has to take place. But, and also, she could have got leniency as well. But they pushed for the maximum sentence because she still couldn't accept the responsibility of doing it. The first AD pled no contest, I believe, to his part in the action, and he got 6 months of probation. So it's also like, you don't learn the lesson either, so
Right.
you got to do the time. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But also, like we were talking earlier about like the deep sea jobs. Like there's a reason I myself wouldn't take on a high stakes job that involves something potentially dangerous. Because I'm a little bit clumsy.
Sure. Yeah.
And like I don't want that responsibility.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, as on your defense, when something happens, it can't be whoopsie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you're in a position like that. It's always good to end on a happy note. Sorry, guys, but we're going to have to go. Hailey, thank you so much. You already told us about your blackout stuff. You got anything else coming up? Because this episode's got to go up today.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, cool. I don't know. There's the melodrama this summer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, does it have an official title yet?
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
The last time I asked, no.
Sure.
But I guess we could check again today.
Was that the one that got postponed because of the weather?
Oh, no, that was the monologist.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because I got COVID. Unfortunately, yeah.
Is that ever coming back, or did it come back? And
Yeah.
I just
Can we say, is it officially announced May 28th, I believe? I might be wrong about that. Keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out.
Blackout's Instagram. But it is in May.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
Oh, that's the wrong button. God. Hold on.
all right. We're getting a standing ovation for Hailey.